Beware of the hidden government agenda. In this episode, I'm going to address the question, what is the fiduciary rule in financial services? It sounds good on the surface, but it can have some hidden dangers that most Americans are not aware of. Stay with me and I'll share them with you. My name's Doug Andrew, and I've been a part of the financial services industry now for more than 4.5 decades. When I was helping my own clients optimize their financial assets, minimize taxes, save for retirement, not outlive their money, I always held myself to a fiduciary standard, which means this. You want to put your client's best interest first ahead of your own. Now, I've actually seen financial planners and advisors that almost put their wife and kids ahead of their client's wife and kids, so to speak. That's very unfortunate. And so that's called a fiduciary standard. And recently, the Department of Labor under the Obama administration was wanting to change and define what the fiduciary rule really means. And I'm going to share with you why they were doing that and what was up their sleeve, because there's a lot of financial advisors who do not understand this. And I'm very concerned because now we have a Biden administration and Joe Biden was vice president under the Obama administration. When Trump came into office, he got rid of what they were planning. And so I'm afraid Biden may very well bring this back. Here's why. You'll hear financial advisors oftentimes on radio or their website say, hey, come to us because we're fiduciaries. And so they want to set themselves apart, meaning that they hold themselves to a fiduciary standard, which is good, that they're going to put your best interest ahead of their own. That's great. It sounds wonderful, right? What they don't know is the Department of Labor had a hidden agenda when they were proposing to change what that meant. So let me share with you what was up their sleeve and what I think may be coming back. Before I do that, let me simply ask, who is the best one to look out for your best interest? You. Okay? This is why I've always empowered my clientele to be their own best fiduciary, to take ownership in educating themselves, making their own decisions, instead of just turning money over to an advisor and say, take care of the money. And the advisor goes, yeah, I'm a fiduciary and so forth, because there's some dangers here. I'll give you a couple of examples. In 2008, what happened to most Americans who had money in traditional IRAs and 401ks in the market? Most Americans lost an average of 40%. Many times I will ask audiences when I go out speaking, how many of you lost money in 2008 or know somebody, like your parents, who lost money in 2008? A sea of hands goes up. I go, okay. Next question. How many of you think that is going to happen again? 90% of the hands go up. Okay. So do you want to have happen to your money next time when it happens? What happened last time to your money? Lose 40%? No. So what are you doing differently to make sure that doesn't happen? And they just sit there and go, it's in the same place. So who's looking out for your best interest? I could show you how to protect yourself to never lose again when the market goes down. So you could be your own best fiduciary in that example. Let's talk about taxes. Most people believe that in the future, taxes will not be lower. They're not even going to be the same. When I ask how many of you think that in the future, taxes will be higher, a sea of hands goes up. I go, so why are you putting money in tax-deferred IRAs and 401ks in the market to some future perceived unknown advantage and growing your money to this, and then you're going to withdraw your money down the road when taxes are going to be higher? Is that in your best interest? Then why is your advisor, your fiduciary, Keeping your money in a tax-deferred account when the writing's on the wall. I can tell you right now by looking at your finances, you are not going to be in a lower bracket. So are they looking out for your best interest? Or is it the government's best interest? People go, wow, I never thought of it that way. So you are your own best fiduciary. And so I've helped empower many people to convert their money to tax-free vehicles, get it out of the market, make themselves and their money immune from market downturns, and also protect themselves by converting to tax-free by becoming their own best fiduciary, because most asset managers, most financial planners have your money invested in the market in tax-deferred accounts. And at the end of the day, you're going to get clobbered with taxes. And Wall Street was not built to create predictable income. You cannot get predictable income. You ask a financial advisor to show you predictable cash flow or income out of money in the market, you'll be lucky to be shown more than a 4% payout because of the 4% rule. Most people only average 3.5% with their money in the market during the ups and downs, okay? That's called the 4% rule. So what can you do better? And what is this hidden agenda I've been referring to? So before I share with you the hidden agenda with the DOL, if this is intriguing you, be sure and share, click like, post a comment, subscribe to this channel. Why? Because it's free and I post an in-depth answer to a financial question like this almost on a daily basis. Click the little bell so you'll be notified when I do. But stay with me because I want to gift you a copy of my most recent best-selling book that will help you understand what's far better than IRAs and 401ks, money in the market, and where you can be your own best fiduciary, okay? So what was the hidden agenda? See, back in 2008 to 2012, the first term of the Obama administration, President Obama decided he needed to go out and get some money. He wanted to borrow from the general public. And where is a lot of money? It's in people's IRAs and 401ks. In 2012, he brought in a gentleman by the name of Richard Cordray, and he put him in charge of the Congressional Budget Office, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, okay? This was a new organization under the auspices of protecting consumers. Now, it was Richard that said, oh, we don't have a $20 trillion debt problem in America. Now, yes, we did. He said, no, we have at the time $23 trillion in yet to be taxed IRAs and 401ks. And I have an idea how to get that money before people retire. How? See, they were setting the stage for the next major crash because it's not a matter of if, but when. Their plan was the next major crash, when people would say, oh, enough already, the government was going to swoop in and save the day. We want to protect you from losing money when the market goes down. So fiduciaries, and by the way, the fiduciary rule under the Department of Labor was that any advisor who managed money in IRAs and 401ks, at the time $23 trillion, now there's probably about 30 trillion. Folks, they want fiduciaries managing money in those to be told what is in people's best interest. During the next crash, they wanted to say, well, a fiduciary must take maybe 33% of your money and invest it in U.S. Treasuries. What? They want to borrow $10 trillion from you. Do you know they're already looking at doing this? They want to have people be forced to put money into U.S. Treasuries. And one of the ways to do it is by saying, oh, under the fiduciary standard, we want people to have their money in IRAs and 401ks, 10, 20, 33% or more into U.S. Treasuries, and we will guarantee you 3%. Now, they're not paying that right now, but folks, do you want to loan your money to the government and rely on them to pay you 1, 2, or 3% to save you from market losses? That's the hidden agenda behind the fiduciary rule. I don't appreciate that, and that's why I have never advised anybody to have money in the market or in IRAs and 401ks. No, you can do something far better. What's better than an IRA or 401k where you can take ownership? It's called the Laser Fund. So folks, I hope this doesn't happen, but it looks like it likely will. I'm already seeing signals of the government maybe helping out pensions that are in trouble or whatever. They are wanting to require that a third of the money is invested in U.S. Treasuries because the government is borrowing your money when they do that. And so heaven forbid, if you have your money tied up in qualified plans like IRAs and 401ks, 403bs, 457s, those are all qualified plans. Beware, the fiduciary standard may require a licensed fiduciary to force you to invest 10, 20, 30% or more into U.S. Treasuries at a pathetic 1, 2, or 3% rate of return to protect you from losing money, folks. I don't like that. That's why I have always advised people not have qualified accounts. If you establish what I call a laser fund, it'll knock the socks off of an IRA or 401k. It's totally tax-free. It actually helps out America more than just rolling over and paying unnecessary tax. But it allows you to accumulate, access, and transfer your money tax-free. I have average returns between 7 to 10%. Every $1 million can generate 70 to 100,000 a year of tax-free income. This book will show you how to diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement. I would recommend 40 to 60% of your retirement income come from a portfolio of laser funds. You'll see why when you read and study this. It retails for $20, but I want to gift you a copy. Here's how you can claim your free copy. Simply go to laserfund, laserfund.com, or click on the link below. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost. I'll fire out a hard copy to you free. I will pay for the book. There's also options there to listen and learn, watch and learn. It's actually 2 books in one. This one is 200 pages with all the charts and graphs and explanations. If you learn more by stories, you flip it over and read this one. This is 100 pages, 12 chapters with 62 actual client stories. I want to empower you one way or another, whether you are right-brained or left-brained, or you want to use the whole brain, okay? But this is to your brighter future, and as you read and study, you'll have opportunities to be able to have a professional help you implement any of the strategies that you learn about in this book. But it's more important that you look out for your best interest. You become your own fiduciary, because no one is better qualified than you when you're educated to look out for your brighter future.